Good evening and welcome to another scene in the living world of darkness. Camarilla and Arc Venue. We start tonight's scene with Theodore just standing around waiting for, well, his plus one, shall we say. He asked the sheriff whether he wanted to be present, and the sheriff said he would be here. So he is standing uh, at a what looks like a bus stop, and huh, Theodore is fairly overdressed for a bus stop, but that doesn't seem to really stop him. He just stands there and waits. It's not too far from a community center, and he is waiting for the sheriff. And I believe that the well, sheriff will either find out that he's muted, or he will just take a couple of detours to be sure that he's not being followed. Of course, he disconnected. Good timing.
My internet is great, guys. Really, it's fine.
Well, we will now that the space-time continuum has relapsed on itself, and the sheriff is now here. We will join as the sheriff is arriving at the bus stop where he was supposed to meet.
And the sheriff is very much there on the dot. He's been traveling all over the town, really. If there's one upside to being in the middle of a hot zone, it means you're never really out of a job. But Sam must make this brief interlude from slaughtering shovelheads en masse to meet with the Master of Harpies and find out who this new kid in town is, or if she really was new at all, and might just be another Sabat plant to take down. He's not really sure yet, but that's why he is here. And yeah, Sam approaches at a fairly brisk pace towards the bus stop, and take a seat next to him and just say, "Good evening to you."
Good evening. He just looks at him. Well, what would you say if I said the word bonfire?
What are you getting me into this time?
Just, you know that we had an arrangement.
I know, you light the bonfire and I get the fire sticks.
Very well, Mr. Sheriff. Good. I know all this smoke and mirrors, it's apocryphal, but times demands it. As far as I can tell from the limited amount of, data there is on this person, she attends some sort of support group. I don't know, it's not really a thing I'm too familiar with, but it's in that community center, like over there. You can see the entrance. Well, I know that we're all on the edge, but might I suggest that you not approach this place heavily armed, since there are probably quite a few people at night time in a place such as this.
He will drop his 24 different firearms. No. He he doesn't drop anything because he's carrying he doesn't carry a shotgun to the bus stop because that'd be silly. But he does hand over well one of his pistols, cheap looking revolver. I wouldn't need two of these, just in case.
Right. Do you want me to lead the conversation, or do you want to follow me with me, or just approach from a distance? Do you have any preference?
It would be preferable if we didn't just jump the poor thing in the middle of the street. Unless, of course.
I hope we can talk to her as the meeting ends. Well, come. And he gets up and begins to walk. He's not like running or anything, but he's like a fairly reasonable pace as he begins to approach the building.
Sam will walk on up with this fine, besuited gentleman. In fact, would it be arguable to say they look out of place, almost far too well dressed for a place such as this?
They are a bit upscale for this place, yes, unless they are like supposed to lead a course or like an after course in like etiquette and sharp dress sense. That's the only explanation they would be in a place such as this.
That could be a thing in those places. You never know.
Theodore is just humming to himself. Quite not loud, but Sam can hear it, and he will just enter the place. There is like some people there. There are like a couple of people. It's mostly people in the opening into a room of people where there's someone going from or to the bathroom or something. And Theodore will just look at some flyers and some, like, some of the plaques. There are some plaques where it says who's in what room. Let's see. There we go. He just taps the name in the plaque. I believe this is, yes, 23A. It's down here. Come. And Theodore and Spillane come down to one of the rooms where they stand outside. The door's closed. Inside the room, there is a group of people gathered. One of which is a person who is fairly closely associated, shall we say, with the two people outside the room. Would this person like to introduce themselves?
Sure. Nikki is dressed in not her usual scrubs because tonight's one of her nights off. She's dressed in like jeans and a shirt. She's not particularly dressy or anything like that, and tennis shoes. And she's got shoulder length brown hair, kind of wavy, with blue eyes that do have a certain sparkle to them in the right light. And she's average height, about 5'6". And she's just, the meeting has just ended, so she's milling about talking with some of the other people there.
The leader of the group will just say, all right, everyone, just remember, like, I'm always up for a call. If you have anything, I'll be around for like 20 minutes or so. But it's good to see you all coming, and I hope you'll everything will be all right. And truth be told, I'm really proud of all of you. You've been doing great. And remember, talking about it, it's the best thing to do. He smiles and just gives him a nod, and there's like a quiet, like reserved nod and appreciation. Um, yeah, people's there isn't a lot of one second. There isn't a lot of like audible talking just after this. Um, but there are some the people getting up and some people. I mean, there's one guy who's just he's not necessarily well in his Nikki knows him. She's seen him before, and he's just like he's speaking of some of his own uh, experiences, and yeah, as the doors opened, and just for those who've just joined us, this is at a community center in New York. And, well, as the door enters and people begin to shuffle out, Theodore will he will just walk in and just look around. And he's just standing in the door looking around. And he will do something. I will do stuff. He has 2 successes. What would you say is Nikki's primary emotion?
Let's see. I would say that she's probably having just been at the support group. Content.
Okay.
Because these things always make her feel better. So, and she knows all of these people, and she's been coming here for a long time. So, seeing them always makes her feel better. So, yeah, content.
You're just finishing off your conversation with the guy you've seen before, and you're getting up, and this man comes over to you. Good evening. Could is your name Nikki by any chance? Or do you go by another?
She looks at him and kind of narrows her eyes a bit. Yeah.
Good. Pleased to meet you. And he puts out a gloved hand, and he just puts out a gloved hand. It's just Theodore Williams. I don't believe we've met before.
She hesitantly takes his hand and shakes it. She doesn't really put any kind of strength behind it. She just kind of loosely shakes his hand.
Good. Would you care to talk with me for just a couple of minutes? I believe you, not too long ago, but some time ago, you inquired about extended family. He smiles, and you can see a bit of a hint of a glint in his eye. I do believe I have some information on your extended family, shall we say.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I have a few minutes.
Yeah, we don't need to leave the place. I think we can get a cup of coffee somewhere. And he just begins to slowly walk out. It seems that he's given you a few moments to gather your stuff. Oh, wait,
Yeah, she gets her...
there's coffee right here. Can I have a cup, or is it only for members? He looks at
Well, you're here, so you can have one.
Thank you. You? you want a cup?
Sure.
Good. He pours up 2 cups of coffee and seems to be standing in the door waiting for you.
She takes it and puts a little creamer in it, stirs it up, and sips it on her way out.
You move a little way, so there's no people in immediate earshot. Can you give me a perception alertness? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I just need to ask out of character. Sam is not hiding at this point, right?
No, Sam is not hiding. He seems to be heading over to the table because he's like, okay, he's got her seated. Now Sam could just join in at his leisure. So that's what he intends to do.
Wow.
A lot of
Fucking
successes.
Boss roll. You not only do you have the shoe size of anyone within a 2-mile radius, you also notice that you notice the Irish guy who's just entered, who you haven't seen before, but and you're quite sure that you can also name all of the colors that is represented on his face. Eye, ear color, hair color, you name it. But after a little walking, that's just a little, still in the building, it's just, so, that's a good thing, I suppose. Counsel for the grieving and the damaged.
She notices Sam coming in, and she kind of mumbles to herself, well, that's 2 people I haven't seen before.
You see the third. You see the third. A guy who's like really harmless, who just enters, and he just like he looks around, looks at the guy who's near you, looks at Samuel. Ah, Spleen, and he just like goes near Spleen, sits, and he sits near him, takes a Playboy, starts playing the Playboy.
Yeah.
Sounds interested in how he can play a Playboy, but
You mean Game Boy, right? Because playing a Playboy is something else.
Playboy is an entirely different thing.
Anyways,
Game Boy.
Theodore will just they've left the room and just gone a little bit away, but you see those 2 people, and he just does. Well, you were, some time ago, you were an Elysian, and I do not believe you have been introduced to the prince. This is a problem. Would you not say?
Sorry, hang on, you were really quiet.
No, I'll try to speak. Is this better?
Yeah, I just turned up my volume.
Okay.
So.
He says, I do believe you have been to an Elysium not too long ago. And yet you have not been introduced to the proper people, which is a problem. Would you not say?
I went a while back, but I've been just kind of keeping to myself.
Well, if that was a viable way of living our lives, well, I would be glad to allow it, but there are current things happening in the city that are firstly out of my control, and secondly, just the nature of our looks around, make sure there's still no people in earshot. Our lives, shall we say, is such that you cannot really keep to yourself forever. At some point,
No, of course.
this will be a
course
very,
not.
very long time before such a thing happens. You will need an assistance that, what shall we say, our kind can give you, and probably no one else can.
I knew that I couldn't keep to myself forever.
No. You may have seen and heard and felt that the city is somewhat in an uproar at the moment.
There's definitely some weird stuff going on, for sure.
Yeah. I am not privy to give you all of the details at the moment, but I would have you meet at least one person. It's the sheriff. Have you met him before?
I don't believe I have. Glad to meet you. Sounds Blaine.
Hi, Nikki. And she sticks out her hand to shake his.
He will shake her hand up and down as if it were the only thing he's been looking forward to today. Very enthusiastically and joyously, as he just goes, Nikki!
Bonnet.
Thank you for that. It's great to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Oh man, I just went there, come over, and then like they just come and go. Like this guy comes to you like talking, he doesn't care if you guys listen or not. And then I said, "Yo man, what the fuck you gonna do anyway?" And then it just came near me, that bitch, like whatever Lucius' name. He just said like fuck off. I told him like shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, man? And then the Lucius came in and said like, "Oh man, I'm this old ass shit. I'm like, shut up, Lucius. I don't give a damn about you, man."
Friend. Yes.
My name is Jim.
You can see that Theodore just face palms, or at least with one hand just face palms, and just rubs his face.
The guy who's talking he looks like an underage, but you're sure he's not. Like there's this weird feeling of you that this guy he just looks like an underage, but he's not. You're sure about it. He looks harmless. He looks that guy who talks all the goddamn time and lies all the goddamn time. And he extends a hand to Nikki. My name is Jimmy. Jimmy the Fixer. I fix problems.
That's my job, but whatever.
He creates a bit of his own in the process. Just very, very dry. It's just served up from Theodore.
A very, very cold wind enters the room.
Shit, he just arrived.
And in a door opening indeed is a blonde, very tight-shaven man, looking very brim into the room, holding a cigarette between his lips.
Ah, it is a proper meeting now. Perhaps we should move to a bit more sensible place.
I said Lucius is a man who always does his job right and a proper member of our community. He always did what it needs to be done, and he said that he enjoys his time serving our community.
Good boy.
Yes, you do your clan credit. It's just very low, and it's almost whispering that. It's just looking on.
Sam's smile could not be flatter or more sinister if he wanted to make it so.
Yeah, Nikki starts to tense just a little bit at the influx of new people that she's pretty sure are kindred. She's never been around so many before, except for the one Elysium she went to. So, yeah, she's definitely okay with the idea of getting out of here.
Please. Theodore will just, it's not too often you see this, but he will offer you a hand, but in a, like open a hand for you to almost follow him, like fairly old school gentleman move, but it especially in this city and in this place looks out of place, but please, come, my dear. Let's quietly just move to a bit more sensible location.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. She kind of takes his hand to humor him a bit. She understands what that's for. Oh.
Hey, me
Yes.
too. What the fuck? Lucius and Jerry did that community center. What the fuck?
Perhaps, well, I'm truly sorry. I did not mean for us to have an entourage, as it were, but, oh well, as I said, things in this city and with our kind is somewhat tense at the moment, and there's safety in numbers.
Of course.
They begin to leave the building.
Numbers of people and guns.
They will walk a little down the street, so it clears out a bit, but there's really not a lot of people around, and there is a bus stop. There's no one sitting. There's a bench there, and he will just sit down.
La, 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 la.
Lucius has not said a word yet towards Lindsay, and is very suspiciously looking at her. He doesn't trust newcomers ever since that entire betrayal they've met. He's very wary.
Nikki will sit next to Theodore.
We must make certain sacrifices, all of us, in the name of security, and I hope you will, in time, forgive me.
She looks kind of confused. Like, okay.
So, bear with me. What's your name?
Yeah. You will, as you're sitting there, he will hear in her mind. Like it comes like it does take a little, like a couple of moments. Then you almost hear his voice in your head, which is disconcerting. A question that is essentially, are you allied with the Sabbat? That is what you hear, and you can't really, you just think, essentially. You don't say anything, but you think, and I think you say no, or what is that?
Yeah, she actually says, what?
Or what is that, or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. She has no clue what you're talking about.
Make a perception awareness roll.
That's what a good spy would do.
Out of character, the only problem is a spy can't really lie with that, because
she can't lie to him.
not when it's the
Telepathy.
thing he just did. It's a problem.
I don't have awareness, so.
Bad days.
Is it just a perception with one more difficulty?
Difficulty 7, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, 7. I got 2 successes.
You think, just deducing, especially with what he just said, he's just used some sort of power of the blood on you. You're quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea. I mean, you've never really felt anything like it, but yeah.
You can roll intelligence kindred lore, though.
Oh, yeah?
Exactly, like to understand what's happening, like you can...
Yeah, I have Kindred Lore 1, so...
Okay.
It's still the same amount of dice.
Please do it again.
Okay.
Roll it. It's only fun with your badge.
I believe it's easier, but you just got less successes.
Yeah.
You heard about some near mastery of aspects discipline.
Okay.
High consensus.
Okay.
I'm truly sorry. Well, again, certain sacrifices and etiquette must be made. I am terribly sorry.
She just kind of nods her head and she looks a little bit panicked, but she's, not freaking out or anything, but she's confused as to what's going on a little bit. I mean, she understands a little bit of what's going on, but, just all of this all of a sudden happening is a bit overwhelming.
So,
she is quite, unaffiliated, shall we say. He smiles to the sheriff.
Could use a bit more information there, Hot Spice. Clan agent sect?
Wow. Okay. That
wow,
works.
I'm
That
rolling
does not
empathy with
work.
that one.
He just looks at Spillane and just something seems to just shakes his head, goes over to Spillane, and then he just whispers because fuck that. He just whispers to him. I do not believe she knows what the Sabbat is, which would make her unaffiliated.
Okay. How did you get her age?
I believe we can get such things in a more traditional sense.
Alright.
But for the sake of safety, I believe that this will do. I am quite sure that now he's not whispering. This festive and very social get-together is a pleasure to me. I'm quite sure that Nikki here would appreciate a bit more of a slower curve as to the introductions of people. He smiles to her. It would be quite a lot to take in at one time.
All right. Considering what my dear friend here has just told me, might I have your agent clan, please?
It's been about 6 years now, and Gangrel.
Uh-huh.
All right, and you do happen to know what the traditions are, don't you?
Of course.
Good. Kind of leaves me wondering, I don't know what the Sabbat is, and if that's the case, but we'll just let that one slide for now. So, do you actually know what's been going on in town while you've been on your own? She was one of your friends.
I know there's been a lot of weird things going on, increase in violence and stuff.
Well, in which case it is my pleasure to inform you that the reason for that upsurge in violence is due to the organization that you are not actually aware of. And they've been going around town, killing a lot of people like you and me. You can see where we might have been a bit concerned with you just kind of lounging around by yourself.
She nods her head.
Can you pop claws? Jeez, Jimmy just says it out of nowhere.
Please.
What?
We've had enough breaches of etiquette.
Jimmy will get a look from Lucius.
Listen, man, why are you looking at me like that? I always think you're a proper person in our society.
Then do what I do and shut the fuck up. Please.
shit, man. Okay.
Sam simultaneously feels incredibly satisfied, yet also somewhat sorry for the pitiable thing that's now completely silent.
The Jimmy kind of like puts his head to Sam's shoulders because he can only shut up when he's sleeping and he's faking sleep.
Sam just says, "I still have a gun." Right. Well, I suppose you've got a lot of questions. Where would you like to start?
She actually just she's very overwhelmed. So she actually isn't going to ask anything right now.
Please tell me you know what a sheriff is. I will be glad to show you what I am.
That's okay.
More than happy. He seems very, very happy.
Yes, I know what a sheriff is.
Okay. See, I just need to double check here because there seem to be a few gaps missing, and I need to just be sure that we're filling those gaps. Right, so how do you know what a sheriff is, but not what the Sabbat are? Would you mind filling me in there?
My sire. That's right. Told me about the Camarilla, the traditions and the positions.
And would you mind telling me how long you've been here?
Born and raised in East Side Manhattan.
His fingers are kind of tapping his head, as if cogs are turning. There's also as if there's also some manner of stress.
I work at the Animal Medical Center, the 24-hour veterinarian hospital.
Right, and you've been here for 6 years.
Well, as part of this distinguished community, I believe the statement was, she's been here all her life. Both her lives.
Yes. I've always lived in New York.
Have you met the prince?
I don't know, Amachan. Has she met the prince? I don't think so.
It's up to you. Because in the last 6 years, there were tons of different princes. So I would say, she like the 6 years ago, the prince, his name was Jan Peterson. You can just say I met with Jan Peterson.
Okay. I met Jan Peterson.
Close enough.
Okay, that works. Ain't got too much time to be messing around formalities at this stage. I suppose even if you didn't, you'd be awfully fortunate that you've been dropped into a war zone.
Right.
Otherwise, I might have had a problem with that statement.
Oh man, look at that chick, Jimmy says, pointing out the Daniel's character.
One of the Jasmine.
Oh man, I
Oh,
wish I had a
damn.
mama like that.
Uh-huh.
Jasmine sort of is going past and sort of double takes as she recognises at least two of the people there, but not the others. She sort of hovers, not knowing whether to approach or not.
Ah, where good people are, more good people will arrive. Please, Jasmine, a pleasure. Good evening.
Good evening, Master of Harpies. Good evening, Sheriff. I don't believe I've been introduced to the others.
My name is Jimmy, the badass.
What is it with Kindred in the fucking community center?
For the life of me, I have no idea. And you can hear an audible sigh from Theodore.
You see Sam play Russian roulette with his revolver, point it to his head. Let's see. D6.
You're in a lone room, right?
We are outside, fairly alone, at a bus stop, and there's not too many people around for the bus at this time of night.
I can't play Russian roulette.
But there's a guy who's holding a gun.
Yeah, I can't do that if there's a guy around, sad face.
Yeah, like-
Anyway.
I was putting my cop
in
overlay.
the horror.
I was putting my cop overlay in like 2 seconds and be like, "What is happening here?"
Jasmine, Nikki, Jasmine.
Delighted to meet you, Nikki. I don't believe I've met you before, but then I'm very new here.
No, I haven't met a whole lot, actually. Nice to meet you. And she will shake her hand if she's offering it.
Oh, absolutely. I was thinking about getting a bus, but this looks rather more interesting, to be honest.
Just gonna roll straight
Yeah,
up. Sam looks vaguely threatening. Jasmine.
Sidle away. I'm going to stand on the other side of Theodore.
This works for Sam. Well, new kids have got to stick together, I suppose. By the time this, I'm done with you, I guess you won't be so new. Alright.
Tactfully put, my sheriff. He sits down next to Nikki again.
So allow me to give you a very, very, very quick and simple explanation of what the Sabbat are and what is going on in the city as of right now. Because I have gone through this explanation more than once.
She just nods.
Sabbat are a bunch of...
Go ahead.
Sorry. His hands kind of gesture. It's almost like looking at jazz hands, but in the most threatening manner that they can be applied in.
Scary
So
jazz
Sabbat
hands.
Jasmine hands. So the Sabbat are a bunch of ignorant, psychotic lunatics that basically want to take over the world and destroy the Camarilla, and basically enslave all humans in Kindred. Effectively their modus operandi. They generally do this by flouting the masquerade and general human laws. And they also, obviously, hating everything and everyone and everything, feel the need to wage war on us, as we are above them on the food chain. Currently, they are swarming in from Staten Island. He points southward in a very jolly fashion. And are currently running rampant across our city as our previously well-defined borders are now not so well-defined. Fortunately, you have people like me and Lucius who go out there, brave soldiers that we are, fighting a good fight and keeping y'all safe.
At that words, Lucius will nod at Jasmine and Nikki and say, Lucius Kaltenbrunner, at your service.
I'm pleased to meet you, Lucius.
Yes, nice to meet you, Lucius.
He's my hound. So we work together on a lot of things, including protecting the city from the bad guys. Unfortunately, for you, I am in charge of the war effort, which means everyone is working with me to beat the bad guys. Congratulations! You get to be a war hero.
Okay. Oh,
Don't worry, heroes get medals.
sure.
I
Sure
got
they do.
five. Jimmy just says I got 5 medals.
Fortunately
Nikki-
for you, however... Oh, sorry.
Does it say Nikki just chuckles a little bit at that? Like,
Hmm.
I can't even believe this guy right now. Like,
Now, fortunately for you, I've already lived through one of these wars. And that was arguably worse than this one. Because we had a red lister, and that was a problem. We killed him. Great times. But now they're back. And they're running the show in Harlem and Washington Heights. And it's kind of a mess over there. However, we will be taking that place back in a week, in which I expect you to show up, or I will shoot you in the face.
sure. Of
Consider
course.
me drafted.
Me too. I can use a knife.
I could use a witty epigram.
Fortunately, my friend here makes knives that are on fire, so I think we can use that.
Lucius will look at you and say, always
Her-
give away the trades right away.
Her eyes widen at the mention of a knife that's on fire. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm not very good with fire. Or knives. What happened to the pen being mightier than the sword?
Oh, I have a sword that can be put on fire as well.
And how deadly is your ballpoint?
You want me to put it on fire for you?
Not particularly. But it
Then
would certainly be a more dangerous pen than I was anticipating.
Keep all the quips, and by the end of this, you'll be on fire.
Message heard and understood.
Normally, I wouldn't be this much of a dick, but we are kind of in the middle of a hot zone. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised we haven't been jumped yet.
About getting that bus, then.
Otherwise, you would be bound to them, and you would be their happy little slave. He says that to Nikki, of course.
Nikki just kind of nods, and she reaches into her purse and takes out one of her cards that has, her name and title and phone number on it. Has her work phone and her cell phone, and she just hands it to Sam.
I thank you. He gets out a piece of scrap paper with his number on it. Because he's not a businessman. He's a fuck. A very well-off thug, but still a fuck.
Right. Yeah, she'll take the piece of paper. And now you can get a hold of me for when you need stuff. Because she doesn't really know what to say at this point.
Jimmy just says, murder.
Is it murder if they deserve it?
I've never really killed anyone before.
Get used to it. He smiles broadly.
Mr. Spillane, please. I just looks to Nikki as he's sitting down next to her. Most of the people you will encounter are not someones, they are some things. They are worse than animals.
Right. Sure. Just don't think of them as people or animals, and I'll
Trust
be
me.
okay, right?
Trust me. When you begin to meet and see some of these things, you'll be quite convinced yourself.
Hmm. They let loose a few, or sailed kindred in a hospital, had to clean that mess up. Just to put that in, just to put it into perspective as to what these individuals are and what they're capable of. They'll kill a few hundred people just because they're having a bad day.
Oh, well, that's not cool.
That's
Right.
about on Sunday.
Yeah. Tuesday is when did they go after Harlem? Is that Tuesday?
Well,
Never mind.
well, I live on East Side Manhattan, Lenox Hill.
Alright. Well, I'll get in touch. I have some friends that can escort you home so that you're not jumped on the way. It's dangerous to go out at night.
Or you can stay with me and Melanie. Or Mole and the. Actually, you can stay with Melanie, me, Peter, and Mole. We stay at their place.
Yeah, I was going
They
to say
offer
this.
for safety.
Did the Sam know that Lupine saved Jimmy and Melanie?
No, they don't tell anybody. Mole saved us.
Because Jake
No,
Clay
no
remembers.
offense, but I'm not sure that I want to go home with someone I just met.
Where's your sense of adventure?
I understand.
I think her privacy should count for something, my dear Sheriff. Would you not agree?
He just can't wait, so I just need to know where Haven's located by Jasmine. It's standard procedure at this point.
Quite so. He looks to Nikki. I can help you on your way home, if you would prefer that.
Sure. Yeah, I'd like that.
Very well. Will this suffice, my sheriff?
Aye, that's more than sufficient, I think. Sorry
Very
to be
well.
on your case, so fast and so hard, Nikki, but
It's no problem. I understand, the circumstances and all.
does she? It's an empathy roll.
Yeah, she gets the sense of urgency. She realizes that if people, that this probably isn't a normal thing. So yeah, she does understand.
Yeah, Sam is quite obviously acting far more jovial than he has any right to be.
Yeah, yeah, but she's still, even though she does understand, she is a little freaked out. Not freaking out, but anxious. Just overwhelmed by everything. Her entire existence changed in the last 30 minutes. So.
Yeah. Jacob realizes this, and he seems to be milking it for all it's worth.
Right.
Because he's such a good guy.
Sam is great, man. What a nice guy. Don't you just love him? What a guy! What a guy!
Theodore stands up, and he just walks a bit, and just, a couple of steps, and just saying, is there any official business anyone would have a word with me or questions for our newest member?
Well, to be honest, sir, I would like to request a formal message of our prince. He hasn't been spotted recently out in the open. I understand that he's busy, but it would be very comforting to a man such as I to know that he's all right.
I have heard from him, but I haven't met with him face to face in a while. Would be reassuring to know he's okay, considering the current situation.
I will follow Nikki here home, and I shall make this top priority to meet this prince. Will that suffice?
Thank you very much for your. If I inconvenience you in any way.
The Master of Poppies is a position that lends itself to quite some, passing notes back and forth, shall we say. It is my job. Think nothing of it, Mr. Kadabuna.
Then you have my blessing, and I hope to hear from our dear prince very soon. He is, after all, our head, our glory, and literally one of our strongest pillars in our community.
Indeed, he is. Well, anything else? He doesn't look to Lucius specifically, he looks to everyone.
Is Nikki still there?
Yeah, she's not leaving until Theodore does.
Alright. Nothing else really. Oh, take this. Introduction gift. And he tosses you a pack of cigarettes.
She catches them, but thanks. I don't smoke.
You will be by the end of this war.
She just chuckles at that, like. Any of you want these?
You can see the eyes of Lucius light up when you mention if somebody wants smokes.
Oh, so rude, rejecting my gift out in the open.
Well, they may as well get used.
Kadabuna needs to make a self-control roll in order not to just go over and take them.
Oh yeah, happily so.
I'm kidding.
No, I have no problem with that.
Roll that, boy.
I have the addiction flaw for a reason, man.
Oh.
I do like them smokes.
Yeah, smoking and ciggies.
Willpower roll. No.
With my willpower, oh my god. Here you go. Which one do you want? Willpower or
self-control? Because you're craving for a smoke.
Always.
He's got a crave and crave.
Oh
and crave.
god. You're gonna see him snatch those cigarettes out of your hand quicker than you could say, "What the fuck?" And he's lighting one up in front of Sam, in front of you. You don't care.
Yeah, Sam
I have courage 4, so it's okay.
I didn't burn celerity, so it wasn't that fast. So
yeah, but she's just like, before she could really even probably properly extend her hand out, you've already snatched them out of her hand, and she's like,
"Oh yeah.
Well, okay then.
I'll file this away mentally
I guess
for
we have
later.
a winner."
Sam's having a cigar because he's a classy gentleman.
Yes.
Clearly.
A stuck-up donkey.
Oh, if that's sorted, I think you're good to go for now. Have a fine evening.
Theodore extends a hand to you. To Nikki, that is.
Oh, she'll take it. And she'll, say her goodbyes to everyone. She'll, the whole spiel. It was nice to meet you, and hope to hear from you soon. Blah blah blah.
Jasmine will hold out a hand, shake Nikki's hand, and quietly slip her a contact card so that they can actually talk to each other at some point.
Okay. Yeah. Nikki will definitely take it, and you'll probably get a text from her as soon as she gets home.
Awesome.
The two of them will walk off, and not too a little bit ways off. Theodore will just quietly just say, "Well, I must apologize. This was not the way I intended to inquire as to the things I had to inquire about." But, well,
It's no problem. I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting all this, but it is what it is, right?
it is. You've avoided, well, a lot of attention for quite some time. You should consider yourself fortunate. There's quite a few places in the world where that would not be more than 2 or 3 months, to be honest. But, oh well. You take public transportation, or do you have a car?
I have a bus pass, but buses don't run 24 hours. I'll walk or take a cab.
He's picking up his phone. Well, just give me a moment. Just text something. Just please. We'll just walk a little. I think up here at the next corner. And as he walks, he's just, well, I did. It does seem as though some of your, well, shall we say, ready knowledge on subjects is a bit of an impression. Well, I would be able to assist you with this if you could assist me in the future with a small matter. It's nothing yet, but could bring you up to speed if you wish such.
Of course, I guess the more I know, the better off I am, right?
Quite so. Quite so. It's a luxury car, but it's like a BMW of some kind. Pulls up. And the window to the front just rolls down and Antonio, get here, tío. Ven un millón. He says something in a language it sounds Italian. You're not quite sure, but you're pretty sure it's Italian. And he opens the back seat, and the two of them will drive off. And for the purposes of this scene, he will drop her off at her place of residence. Meanwhile, at the bus stop, what do the people do?
Well, it's been lovely seeing you again, Sheriff. It's good to meet you, Lucius, Jimmy. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have anything you'd like me to assist with.
What could you assist with?
As I was discussing with the sheriff, I'm relatively good at getting into places and finding out things. I'm not really built for brawling.
Well, that I might have a job for you very soon then, because I am trying to find a lost associate of mine, and I would very much like to find out exactly where she is. And then I might need some assistance in getting into places I normally can't really get to easily.
I'd be very happy to try and help you. Please, here, have a card.
Lucius will trade you a business card. His name is on the card, and he is concerned to be a real estate builder, a construction worker.
Thank you ever so much. yes, if you'd like to send me some details, I will make a start on that.
Right. I will give you the details as soon as I know more. Thank you very much.
Okay. Then, if unless there's anything else I can assist you with, I'll bid you all a wonderful evening, and I will go and find myself a taxi.
See you later, Broham.
Good night.
Jimmy also leaves after some time. Like he's just like, see you later, bros.
Sam waves
And
both of them off.
And as Spillane stands, one pack of smokes pour, and probably gets to his own mode of transportation, this scene will come to a close.
Wait, Russian roulette. Ah, he doesn't shoot himself today.
God damn it. And with almost blowing his own head off, we will close the scene. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Have a good night.